जो ऑडियंस आपके सोशल मीडिया के है, आर दे द ऑडियंस दैट वाचिंग योर टीवी और ओटीटी? नो, डेफिनेटली नो. Please go into their social media accounts and see the interactions versus the views. वो कहानी को उतना पकाया नहीं गया है. कहानी को पकाने के लिए टाइम लगता है. There are shows जो रेटिंग बहुत अच्छे नहीं करते हैं लेकिन क्रेडिबिलिटी लेके आते हैं ब्रॉडकास्टर्स को या प्रोडक्शन हाउसेस को. See, we always make सासूज ना विलेंस. सास भी कभी बहू थी, सासू और बहू के फाइट, बहू इज ऑलवेज हीरोइन, तो सासू इज विलेन.
प्यार, पैसा और
प्रॉफिट
तीनों एक साथ. ओह माय गॉड, प्लीज मुझे बताइए है क्या और तीनों का कॉम्बिनेशन कैसे हुआ?
सिर्फ हमेशा हम ये मानते हैं कि प्यार और प्रॉफिट या पैसा अलग अलग राहें हैं, लेकिन आई थिंक दोनों को वी वांटेड टू ब्रिंग इट टुगेदर, and we wanted to tell a love story with the backdrop of finance world. And that's how we came up with this book by Durjay Datta. He is a best-selling novelist, and he has a book, very interesting title, called Now That You Are Rich, Let's Fall in Love. And Durjay has been a part of our writing room when he almost started out. So Mamta and me, we said, okay, it's an amazing book, and it also touches it's a very complex story told in a very simple way for the young adult audience. So that's how we came up with this show, and Amazon MX Player was, when they heard it out, they said, yeah, this is right for our audience. And we had good fun making it. So yeah, it's प्यार, पैसा और profit का एक मिश्रण है. Satisfaction is the primary focus. The longevity of any producer, production house depends on how honest you are to the content. If you have looked at our history of Inspire Films, we have always believed in bringing some new content, whether it's television or OTT. That is something that excites me and Mamta. And we also know that when your focus is content, quality of content or innovation or satisfaction of content, some projects may make you lose money, but some will cover it up. So it's I think gut is something, conviction is something we need to very sure about what we want to tell next. The premise, the characters, the plots, the conflicts, flawed characters, they excite us. We wanted very real cast. We didn't want to force cast. See, when you create a show, a series, कभी-कभी आप ना बैगेज के साथ आते हो कि आपको ऐसा फेसेस चाहिए, ये स्टार आपको चाहिए, ये आपको पुल देगा, ये उसका सोशल मीडिया रीच है. I think what we wanted characters, actors who will justify the characters, who are closer to the character, not casting, then bringing the characters close to the actors. Abhijit's character is played by Mihir Ahuja. If you have seen him before, he had done a series, a film on Netflix on Archies, where he played Jughead. That was a very different character. But when I got his profile, I saw that he is from the similar background like Abhijit is, and in real life also he is a hustler for success. I felt he will understand the character better than somebody who doesn't come from that background. So here Abhijit's family has a shop, kirane ka shop, right, and which is very similar to Mir's backdrop. So, and when we were casting for Garima, we wanted somebody who is very upmarket, very sober kind of a character, somebody who has been, from the A-lister backdrop, rich and famous background. So, and I had seen some of Mahavash's podcast and some of her reels in Instagram. and the way with ease she handles people, audience, and she interacts. She may not look very conventional heroine per se, but her energy is so high energy, and her fearless attitude was right for us. So, and the next goes to Neil Vupalam, you know. Neil just killed it, you know. The way he portrayed his part was so amazing, and I think all the actors we got are so apt for the characters. Believe me, almost 90% of the cast that we have done are the first choices that we had.
Wow.
So it's not that we were looking around and you know, after so many auditions, rejections, so I think it had to fall into place, and those guys had to play those characters, and that's why we had so much of fun making it.
अच्छा, this social media followers has become like a big concern for actors. I mean, जिनके पास नहीं है ना millions के, they are really concerned about it, and they think that कि क्या सच में एक्टिंग करने के लिए या एक अच्छा एक्टर बनने के लिए आपको बहुत सारे millions इकट्ठा करने होते हैं. How do you think?
रणबीर कपूर के पास कोई फॉलोअर्स नहीं है. He is not on social media.
Television, actually people are looking for that.
See, I'll tell you, there was a time, I'll not deny that, there was a time when, though we never believed in that, we felt that it's a trap. Because आप following से ले आओगे, there are two factors to it. I think we need to understand as an industry. Number one, जो audience आपके social media के है, are they the audience that are watching your TV or OTT? No, definitely no. How many of them are actually interacting audience? Please go into their social media accounts and see the interactions versus the views. See the comments versus the views, versus the reach they have, the numbers they have. Some of them are genuine, but a lot of them are not genuine. They may be partially genuine. That is one factor, one can talk about it. But most importantly, आप एक एक्टर और सो कॉल्ड सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर टर्न्ड एक्टर को लाके कैमरे के सामने खड़ा कर दोगे. आई टेल यू, द जॉब ऑफ एवरीबडी एल्स इज easier because you get two chances. A writer can make 10 drafts, 20 drafts of a script. A director can take 20 takes. You know, he can plan things meticulously. He can manage things in edit. He can add music to it, enhance it. But as an actor, आप जो कैमरे के सामने खड़े होते हैं, आप अकेले हो. आपका सब काम बाकी लोग कर चुके हैं. आप कैसे दिखने वाले हो, आपका हेयर कैसा होने वाला है, आपका आईब्रोज कैसे होने वाले हैं, मेकअप कैसे होने वाला है, आपका नोज़ कितना स्ट्रेट होने वाला है, जॉ लाइन्स कैसे कटिंग करने वाला है, क्या कपड़े पहने हो, कौन से कपड़े में कौन से एंगल से अच्छे दिखते हो, बैकग्राउंड क्या है, लाइटिंग कहाँ से आ रहा है, कैमरा मूवमेंट्स कैसे आ रहा है, कटिंग का. लेकिन जब आपको लाइन बोलने पड़ेंगे कैमरे के सामने, आप वहाँ पे यू आर कम्प्लीटली vulnerable. If you can't act, I have seen some of these social media influencers. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them are fantastic. We had some good experience, very good experience with some of them. But they have been successful in a certain kind of a narrative and storytelling to the audience. A certain angle they are good with, a certain way of they communicate with the audience. That works for them. But here you have a 360 degree. You are acting from this angle also when the camera is here, and there is another camera from here, and you don't know who the audience, you know. So you have to unlearn a lot. But after getting so much of success, if somebody has 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million audience, you have achieved success. That means what you are doing is right. So when you shift to another field, I believe acting is very different than social media influencing. Social media influencing, you are a brand and you are bringing your personality to communicate something to your audience that you have cultivated, curated, and you have engaged with them. But here, your audience is wide open and you are working on somebody else's script. The script has not been written with you or your audience in mind.
Right.
You and your audience is just a coincidence in my story, you know. So, unless the social media influencer who wants to be an actor unlearns what he or she has achieved there and starts to learn what he or she needs to do here, it will be difficult for them to sustain. They may get the initial eyeballs, but then we have seen so many social media influencers, they have not done well in fiction. Okay, there's some fiction artists who have done exceptionally well in social media, but not all of them. Some of the best actors are very bad in social media. Does that mean that they are bad actors? No. It's like horses for courses. I believe acting is a dedication, acting is a self-discipline, acting is a discipline, acting is a commitment, acting is focus. And unless you do that, see, I'm a producer. I can tell stories. I've been telling stories for years. But if you have to ask me to build a building or construct a building, or open some engineering shop, I will fall flat unless I give that kind of a training to myself. I have to unlearn what I have done. I cannot carry this confidence there unless I am capable of fulfilling that.
Right.
So I think that's where the missing link is. It will be good if we have more actors coming with influencers background, or vice versa. But for me, I am greedy. I am very hard taskmaster when it comes to my actors. I want them to deliver my character, and they need to add. If they are, they are not even living up to my character's promise, then it's a challenge for me, because everything falls flat around it. Definitely, the trend has not been very encouraging when we see shows going off air earlier than a planned timeline. But where I think where we fail, when I say we as an industry, maybe वो कहानी को उतना पकाया नहीं गया है. कहानी को पकाने के लिए टाइम लगता है. आपको आइडियाज़ आते हैं, आपके पास 100 आइडिया आएंगे, नॉट नेसेसरली ऑल 100 विल कन्वर्ट इनटू अ शो. आउट ऑफ 100 आइडियाज़ 5 आइडियाज़ विल सक्सीड. हम साल में 20 कॉन्सेप्ट्स बनाते हैं, उसमें से 3 कॉन्सेप्ट बनते हैं. बिकॉज हम उसमें से 15 कॉन्सेप्ट हमें रिजेक्ट कर लेते हैं 6 महीना टाइम बिताने के बाद. बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आपको ऑडियंस के साथ कनेक्ट करना होगा. देयर वाज अ टाइम वी यूज्ड टू डू लॉट ऑफ शोज. देन वी सेड दैट विल डू शोज व्हिच आर वेल developed, well designed, well curated, well written, well casted, well produced. So we give a lot of belief behind every show that we make. Some shows, they take time to mature. If you talk about a show like a Veera or a Kuch Rang or a Sadahak, they were not overnight sensations. क्या होता है कि आप ऑडियंस ना अपने खुद की दुनिया में रहते हैं, और प्राइम टाइम में उनके पास और 20 दुनिया है, तो 21 दुनिया में वो टहल रहे हैं. आप 22वां दुनिया उनके पास लेके आ रहे हो. मैं उनको तो पहले कि दे आर ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट कि ये कौन है, ये कहाँ से आए हैं, ये करते क्या है, इनका प्रॉब्लम क्या है, इनका सोल्यूशन क्या है, ये क्या सोल्यूशन पा सकते हैं या नहीं. दैट इज़ हाउ द स्टोरीज आर, द स्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ द स्टोरीज आर, राइट. आप उसमें बिगिन में जाके यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग अ 20-20 मैच. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड यू आर प्लेइंग अ टेस्ट मैच. इफ यू आर मेकिंग टेलीविजन, इफ यू आर मेकिंग OTT, यू आर प्लेइंग अ 50 over मैच. If you are making shorts, then you are playing a 20-20. Micro dramas are even 10-10 or maybe 5 overs. If you are playing a test match, आपको पहले विकेट बचाना है, पिच समझना है, then खेलना है. हाँ यार, because the competitions are there for the broadcasters, they get impatient at times, but there are certain broadcasters. See, I think it's a partnership. A broadcaster needs to believe that this is my producer. So this is the team of creative and production team. They are putting their passion behind the show. So इनका आगे उनका they have a meat behind. So आगे बढ़ेंगे वो लोग. So I think somewhere conviction plays the key role in a show to do well. Conviction in your storytelling, conviction in your teams. That is your production house and broadcasters team. They have to believe in the project. There are shows जो rating बहुत अच्छे नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन credibility लेके आते हैं broadcasters को या production houses को. If you look at from the early stage of my shows also, when we did one of our first shows called रंग बदलती ओढ़नी, जिसमें हमने करण टैकर को introduce किया था as an actor. as a lead actor. So उसमें it was about a widow remarriage. So can you give your life a second chance? Then when we did Veera was about because Veera as a character, she was born out of the wedding. Okay, so whether a kid is illegitimate or the parents are, हम बच्चे को इलिजिबल बोल ही नहीं सकते हैं, उसका क्या कसूर है भाई? शुरुआत को उसने जुबान भी नहीं खोला है यार, उसको आप कैसे इलिजिबल बोल सकते हो? फ्रॉम देयर टू बिकमिंग द कोर ऑफ द हाउस एंड द वेयर शी इज फ्रॉम एंड हर जर्नी. Similarly, when we did Sada Haq, till then youth shows are more of a dance, running around, you know, college, campus, library, canteen kind of shows. We said, okay, let's create a character which is more rooted, who has a very strong arc. So we got a girl who loved the smell of grease more than mehendi. You know, a girl who wanted to be a mechanical engineer, who wanted to join ISRO. Coming from a traditional family where लड़की 18 साल 19 साल हो जाते हैं तो फिर उनके लिए शादी का तैयारी हो जाता है कि पैदाइश में तो सोना खरीदना चालू हो जाता है कि यार इसके लिए गहना बनेंगे, यू नो. तो 18 19 साल 20 21 साल 22 साल हो गए तो लड़के लगते हैं कि यार बड़ी हो गई, तो फिर उसके नीचे भी बहन है, उसका भी शादी ढूंढना हो. तो वी गॉट अ गर्ल फ्रॉम दैट काइंड ऑफ बैकड्रॉप who wanted to study engineering, mechanical engineering that is, and that's a man's world. So she brought a change in the perspective in the way we tell stories. So all our shows we try to bring in something new. See, we always make सासूस ना villains. सास भी कभी बहू थी, सासू और you know बहू के fight, बहू is always heroine, तो सासू is villain. So we said कि ये सासू माँ भी तो है. And why can't we portray a mother story? But कुछ रंग प्यार की is actually a story of mother, that is Supriya's character. And we wanted to show that कि if a mother wants a payback from her son, is she wrong? She has given her life to the son. Okay, so Kuchrang was we didn't have a villain in Kuchrang. If you see, that is one show we didn't have a villain. We never used crash zooms. We never had the zooms, those being then ta na 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 na. Scenes होते थे जहाँ पे हमें म्यूजिक का जरूरत नहीं, हम डालते ही नहीं थे म्यूजिक. ओके, हम कैमरा बैठे रहते थे, गाना ओरिजिनल गाना हम बनाते थे. We generally don't use much of film songs. We create our own songs. The songs are so popular. The cultural difference between both the families, that is Sonakshi's family, that is Erika's family, and Shahid's family, Dev's family, they are very different. You know, one is a Kattar, you know, Shakahari, one is a Mansahari. She's come from you know, Calcutta. We didn't have a villain in this show. We did around 900 odd episodes. We didn't have a villain. You know, so I think with all our shows. Even Dear Ishq that we did for Hotstar, which was set in a publishing house backdrop, a girl who never liked the young adult writing, she is more classical, and then there is a author who comes who is from a young adult, you know, and how the conflict between these two, editor and author. So which is again not a thing that you see on television or OTT. In generally, there might be some of them. So we have tried to bring some new world, some new characters, some new conflicts. Then आपको options ज़्यादा मिल जाते हैं. अगर आपने same format को, lot of our producer friends, they keep, you know, rehashing their shows, you know, similar shows, one after the other. They specialize in that. But somehow me and Mamta, we feel very suffocated when we create similar shows again and again and again. आप अलग लेंस में बता सकते हो, एक दो बार बता सकते हो, but you can't do 10 shows, 20 shows in the same format. So because आप जब नया फॉर्मेट लेते हो ना, आपके पास कहानी बोलने का नया तरीका हो जाता है, कैरेक्टर्स के साथ खेलने के लिए मौका मिल जाता है, तो that's how we do. I understand content and tech should go hand in hand. Okay, content can't be produced by tech cannot be produced by content. Okay. AI जो है ना, for me, AI is the naughtiest creation of humans. When I say naughtiest, AI इतना आपको ना छेड़ता है, आप कुछ पूछोगे वो जवाब भलता सा देगा.
वही तो।
और कुछ अच्छे चीज़ों के बीच में ना कुछ ऐसे ही पूड़ी बांध के दे देगा। आपको समझना चाहिए पूड़ी के अंदर कुछ है कि नहीं है, वो सुतली बॉम्ब भी हो सकता है, यू नो। सो आपको एआई को समझना जरूरी है। एआई विल कीप द सी ऑल्सो, आप जो एआई यूज़ कर रहे हो, आपको आइडियली तो यू शुड यूज़ द लाइसेंस्ड एआई, एंड सो आपका बिहेवियर, आपका नीड, आपका लैंग्वेज, आपका एक्सपेक्टेशंस, एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स कैप्चर्ड बाय दैट समवेयर इट, बिकॉज आपको like you, there's so many people who are using AI, right?
Yes.
AI gets educated,
Yeah.
and it creates its own library from what information it is fed anywhere and everywhere in the world. AI, I think, where what people make mistake. It's like कंप्यूटर ना सब कुछ कर लेता है, लोग बोलते हैं, राइट? कंप्यूटर कुछ नहीं करता है, आप कंप्यूटर से क्या करवाते हो? ओके, आपको अगर आता नहीं है कि आपको परसेंटेज कैसे निकालना है, कंप्यूटर आपको बताएगा नहीं आपको, लेकिन आपको चाहिए तो वो निकाल के देता है, लेकिन आपको मांगना पड़ता है। ये शुड नॉट बी यूज टू ड्राइव योर ब्रेन्स। योर हार्ट एंड ब्रेन शुड बी राइट इन प्लेस, देन एआई इज ऑफ यूज टू यू। आपको स्ट्रक्चर चाहिए, आप एआई से मांग लो, लेकिन आपको उसको फिर से काम करना पड़ेगा। आपको रिसर्च चाहिए, आपको एआई से मांगो, रिसर्च भी हमेशा सही नहीं देता है, लेकिन क्या है ना, वो गलत सोर्स मटेरियल से कुछ अगर उसको मिला होगा तो वो भी डाल देगा, आप उसको गाली दो। आई शाउट आउट एआई, I flirt with AI, I make friends with, I thank you, I give a emoji, वो मेरे को emoji वापस करता है AI. You know, AI is a great friend, but friends are not always right. What is the friendship that you build with AI is going to make your life easy. या AI से आपका लाइफ में ना स्पीड आ जाता है, आपका लाइफ में you don't need actually too many researchers to give you what ये, but then आप भी attentive होना चाहिए। आप इट्स नॉट कि आप चाय रख दिया और भूल गए और चाय बन के आपके कप में आ जाएगा, वो जल के थोड़ा इधर उधर करो तो वो गिरेगा, पूरा गैस बंद हो जाएगा, राइट? थोड़ा सा भी चीनी और थोड़ा सा भी चाय का पत्ती ज़्यादा कम हो जाएगा तो टेस्ट खराब हो जाएगा। आपको यू हैव टू नो एआई का लिमिटेशंस, एआई का स्ट्रेंथ, AI what opportunity it is providing you, and AI का threat। आपको ये सब समझ के यूज़ करना चाहिए। Last couple of years have been very difficult years for all of us, because a lot of broadcasters, platforms, they had their own, you know, there was a lot of consolidation that was happening, a lot of projects got delayed, we got a lot of time. I looked at it the positive side, we got a lot of time to think what to do. We realized going forward, we will sharpen our grid of telling content. We'll be more focusing on what is next for us for the next 5 years, not what we're doing. And so we have got a lot of book rights. So as you're talking, we have got some of the finest book rights with us. We have more than 13, 14 books with us. We have got some life rights. We have got some finest writers on board with us. Some from film, some from OTT. So a lot of new Bibles have been developed. As you are talking, we have more than 60 Bibles ready for television and OTT. Those 60 Bibles can feed us for next 10 years. But we will not keep continuing doing it, because हो सकता है कि उसमें से 50 में से 40 हम ही खुद ही रिजेक्ट कर ले, आज we keep growing more. In the next couple of years, a couple of months, you will see some of our new projects that are coming in with some of the best talents that we have in this business. So where partnership you grow, like one good talent with another good talent is not 2, it's 3. Because you actually create a third talent which is a combination of both. दोनों के strength और weaknesses को मिश्रण करके वो third personality, individuality create होता है. So that is something, participation with good talents. Not necessarily we know everything. There are a lot of things we don't know. We don't know more things than we know things, right? We are still learners and we are still trying to figure things out. So I think going forward, some exciting television shows, some rights of some of the international series, very popular international series have been taken and we are working on them. Some books which are in, we are now converting them into audiovisual storytelling. I'll say कि the remaining year of this remaining months of this year, you will see quite a few of them.